Hello folks, welcome back again. It's another battle report. It's Lord of the Rings, and this time it's the doubles version of what we played at the tournament. So it's the Army of Dead and Harad, which is the side I'm fighting on, versus Lothlorien and Mordor. How this doubles works is we don't care about the what did you call it? The allies chart. So everyone's just friendly allies. Doesn't matter who you teamed up with, because this is kind of random. Basically, what happens is the top player gets put with a lower player to balance things out, and yeah, it works all right. So this is doubles, and I can't remember what the mission we're playing is on this one. Oh, it's the objectives. That's right. There's the red markers put down their objectives. There's one in the centre. It's all along the centre line at different points along the centre line. So that's what we're going for. Nothing else to point out. I'm afraid there's not very many pitches to this, due to the fact that doubles games are take a bit longer to play, and you don't want to spend too much time taking photos. Although it's not fair on players, you know, who want to get the game done. So, say the doubles ones, I've got one more after this one that are quite short, but it needs to be, I'm afraid. This is just a Lothlorien contingent. We're playing on the full 6x4 board, so the river is actually part of it. It's passable, you can swim across it. But there are two bridges, and of course I have the army on my side who just don't care. See, the Lothlorien has a captain that's mounted, and this is the rest of his guys, and he's got a few archers over in the Dark Age house. As you see, just at the top there, you've got elves with spear and bow. And then we have the Mordor force, which is led by the Mouth of Sauron. Oh, nearly forgot his name there. Got a banner on it. It's all Moran and Orcs. They seem to be quite popular. That defense 6 and strength 4 is brutal. And I believe it was a shaman. The guy standing on the rock as a shaman, just for that fury save as well, just to really annoy us. And the other warband in the Lothlorien, sorry, it's Lothlorien and Rohan, with the Rohan allies. We have Éomer and one Royal Guard and two Riders of Rohan as well. So for outnumbering purposes, the Morannons actually started outnumbering us to begin with. We did the combined sides on both sides. But luckily into combat, we actually got it down pretty quickly and kept it down, so the Morannons did lose out on the bonus, which is fantastic, because that means they weren't getting +1 courage, which means with the -1 courage, they were on seriously low courage and easy to wound. So the main plan here is to get the Army of the Dead fighting the Morannons, and in the end, they actually fought pretty much everything, to be honest. The Harad were just there for support. My Harad archers were trying to pink off some horses off the Rohan as they started riding round, but the rest of my guys were just using their spear support to help out the undead. So here we had a bit of a standoff. Both our cavalry were just watching each other, waiting to get the charge. I think if I charged there, I pretty much got it. Due to the fact that the lance really helps. I must say we're both pretty negative on the charge. So in the meantime, if he wasn't coming to me, I was going to shoot him. I've got my archers up on the hill just out of view there, and they would just be plinking away, trying to put Éomer on foot. With him on foot, much better chance of getting rid of him. So yeah, in the combats you can see here, the centre, we spread out the Army of the Dead, covering as much area. We want them into Moran and Orcs, they can easily cut through them. Though it was a struggle to win, so I brought my banner up to help support. As you can see, the Elves actually broke through there, managed to get to my banner. And I have Spearmen supporting the Army of the Dead as well. My Sharon's managed to get in at the bottom, and also at the bottom there in the middle is the red token. That's one of the objectives to claim at the end of the game. My raider who charged in against the Mouth of Sauron was actually defeated him and the elf captain as well, which was pretty damn impressive, and managed to kill off the Mouth of Sauron. So kudos to him. He did that all by himself. That was a bit of luck on our side there, but without the advantage of the morale bonus and rerolling ones, the Army that they were proving quite a tough trick for the Morannons to cut through. Down the bottom, I decided to push my raiders up. They'll go and support the infantry fight. I was just holding back the Rohan so they didn't take part, and they didn't really. I got those 4 archers on the top. They're just in the hope that to shoot off some horses, mainly off Éomer's. If Éomer's horse falls, I'll be charging in with my Haradrim there for sure. But other than that, I'm just playing a holding game, shooting what I can, just to stop them getting into the fight, where their cav will be really useful against my infantry. So yes, the shooting pays off, and I actually managed to get Aomer on foot, though I don't do anything else, so I do charge in and try and take on Aomer with my Harad chieftain. Also, my other Harad raiders charge in. Even though I'm not getting any bonuses, I will still get my lance bonus, so at least I'm +1 to wound. Gives me a good chance of wounding these guys. On the top there, I've got another raider that charged, but he's been counter-charged as well by the elf captain, who's coming to try and support the Rohan as well. And just at the top of the screen there, you can see where the Harad Raider is still alive and still fighting through. I'm sorry to say this is the last picture of the game. Sorry I didn't get another one, but I basically tell you what happened from here. So down in the south, the Raider off ended up being a victory for my Raiders, and they pretty much killed off all the Rohan, and Aomer was killed as well. The elf captain was surrounded and killed. At the top of the screen, the King of the Dead managed to get round to the Shaman. With the Shaman dead, there was no fury, and the orcs just started running, which was pretty much how we wanted it. We'd claimed this middle objective. We had claimed the objective across the river, because we sent a Army of the Dead chap across there, because they can swim. And so he went across and claimed that one, and after mopping up the Rohan, my raiders then went and grabbed the other objectives. So we ended up with all objectives, and we killed one of the army leaders. I think that was the overall army leader as well, because we have to declare which one is the army leader. So yeah, that worked out really well. Our Sharon got in and got some kills, but other than that, the Army of the Dead just proved to be the rock hard counter to the Morannons, with their low morale thanks to the Harbinger of Death and stuff. So yeah, it was a good game, and a good tag team there of some cheap troops and some really elite Army of the Dead.